So I wanted to talk to you about how the narcissist is fake. And I know everybody knows that the narcissist is fake, but I wanted to go into a little bit more detail with that. Part of the reason why they have to devalue you and discard you is because you're real and they're not. So it really bothers them. A lot of times the reason why they have to put on this big show is because you're real and they're not. They're envious of you, and they have to devise all these plans to try to stay ahead of you and try to get you broke down. The only reason they come, listen, a lot of the main reason why they come to the empath is because the empath is real. You know, it's just like we are the opposite of them, and they know that, and that's really what directs them to us. They see our light and all that, but what they see as a person is that they want and wish that they had the ability to go down the path, to walk down the path that we did, and they couldn't because they don't have the guts. They don't have heart. They don't know how to dig in. They don't know how to stand tall. They don't know how to soldier up. They don't know how to tighten up bootstraps. They don't know how to sweat. They don't know how to have long suffering. They don't know how to not get validation and continue on that path, man, because you know that you got your eyes on the prize. You keep your eyes steadily on that plow. They can't handle that. They're not built like this. They're built like what they used to say, fugazis, like fake diamonds are fugazis, right? That's what they are. I mean, you're the real diamond, empath, whoever you are. And they're fake. They're freaking fake, y'all. And you know, whenever you get into the origination of the who, O-R-E, I don't want to get shadow banned or whatever, because I said this word one time and it kind of got me cut off from TikTok for a couple days. But the who, O-R-E, they originated that. They're the origination of that, and that's where that came from. And most of the time, anytime you're dealing with somebody who is one of those, male or female, it's gonna be a narcissist. I mean, there's some things that narcissists are great at, and that's one of them, the who, O-R-E, or the cheater, the cheater. They're great at cheating. They're great at stealing. They're great at lying. What happens is when they first get you, because you don't know them and they have the mask fully on point, it's like, and you're unawoke, that you're able to admire them, adore them, adorn them, and on them a little bit. Yes, something that you were used to in your family. They know how to trigger those things in you. They were triggering them right away because the narcissist has something going on inside them that's spiritual and it's negative. Okay, we'll just call it that. I mean, for anybody who doesn't believe in God and Christ and stuff, so we'll just call it whatever, something negative. How about that? Because we all know there's something very negative in there, and it's spiritual. I mean, I don't understand how all of these psychologists and psychotherapists and stuff can't explain how this is a spiritual issue at all. Like, I think they have spiritual issues and psychological issues. If you can't, how could you be in this business 20, 30 years and you don't understand there's a spiritual issue at all? Don't even touch on it. You got a guy out there that's a self-aware narcissist. You know what he says is, I don't want to say his name because I mean that also got me cut off here for a couple days, but I'm being real with y'all. There is a guy on here that's a self-aware narcissist, and this is one that I do believe because he gloats about it, okay, mainly on YouTube. But what I want to say about that is he talks on the subject, okay, because he gets validation just from talking on it and everybody saying how great he is. But you know what he said when people say they see demon faces or they have these smells? So people have, I don't know, I didn't go over this yet, but people have mildew smells, smells like a basement, or of course sulfur, right? When they were in the presence of their narcissist over time, that they would have these smells on them, and they just, it didn't matter. They would say how much cologne or perfume you slapped on them, they would still smell it. They'd still smell like a dirty basement that's, 100 years old, or like sulfur, which is rotten eggs, right? I actually have smelt that on a gang stalker, the rotten egg sulfur thing, but I didn't on necessarily a love partner. But so this guy would say, this self-aware narcissist would say that it's all your figment of your imagination. If you saw demonic faces, black eyes, if you saw their face change, time stood still, and like what I saw with the mask from Scream, and the eyes bulging, the lips overflowing with botulism pretty much, and then it flew off her face going like 100 miles an hour, and the golden eyes and the forehead going down like that, and then being gang stalked for several weeks, and having this happen to another individual that was following me. Okay, that, the black eyes, the I don't know if we talked about this yet, but they call it the duper's delight. There's a smirk to that, and that smirk, it's impossible. I had a picture of my ex, and it was a live picture, and if you held it down, it would she turned into that. And it's basically like their cheeks and stuff, they get so round up here, up top, that it's impossible. It's not even them anymore. The other thing is when you're getting stalked. I know you guys have been stalked. I mean, I've been stalked even in a house where you turn around and they're staring, or you wake up. Anish Bashar actually watched a few of my videos, so I appreciate that. He even talked about this, that you can wake up and they'll be staring a hole through you, just with no blink, a deadened stare. Some people call it the assassin stare. And what's interesting is when you realize, like, say, a frenemy, or it could be somebody at work, could be anywhere. Once you understand and realize that they're a narcissist, because you have enough proof that lets you, that without a shadow of a doubt this person's a narcissist, it's like they lose their glow and they have this assassin stare, or all the time, just blank stare anytime you see them. There's just no shine to them, to where before they had a shine to them. A lot of times they're just always overcompensating, because when you're not with them, or when you're with them, they have to try to be more than you, because they're trying to be alive, but they're dead. They're trying to be an alive individual, somebody that has a spirit, somebody that has happiness, joy, peace. What's interesting is there was another self-aware narcissist. There's two that I believe in online. Outside of that, the other ones I believe are fake. But the other one had mentioned that even as a child, that he would have to ask weird questions to his friends and try to imitate the way that they would enjoy and experience love, compassion, any kind of joyous type mannerisms, that he would copy them, and he would ask him a lot of questions, and the questions would be so flat and so weird that they would make fun of him because they weren't catching on. They were children. It's interesting how it's almost as if they are born this way. It's very, very interesting. Or they just they refuse to go down the road of ever wanting to love. And when the Bible would talk about individuals being abomination or being blasphemous, to refuse love in general makes you wonder, or makes me wonder a little bit, is that kind of like blasphemy? Is that part of what God's talking about? Because God is love, and what we experience here on earth that we call love in humanity, without what we call love, there would be a lot less people on the earth, because people wouldn't want to live. It wouldn't be a good environment, y'all. When you start thinking about the evil things that narcissists do and the evil that's out there in the world, well, they are the originators of everything evil. They have to be. As much as they pursue evil, they do everything evil. We're talking about sex trafficking. We're talking about stuff with children. You know, the candy thing. I mean, all of this, to theft, to a lot of times therapists and clinicians are narcissists. And where would it be greater for a narcissist to be than be a therapist? And that's why they end up getting caught sleeping with them. You hear that all the time. But think about it. They're almost sex trafficking you, or trafficking you when you start to break it down, the way that they operate. They're the ones that started cults. I mean, everything, man. It's almost like this. Humanity's not that bad if you get rid of the narcissist. Because then what they do to regular humanity is they perpetuate narcissism and narcissistic. They also run the world. That's why Christ and God called it the beast system, because they operate in beast mode, which means they're in fight or flight. They're animalistic. They are what people would call also the reptilian brain. They're cold-blooded. They don't have feelings and emotions. A snake don't have no feelings and emotions. They're not like mammals, like even a cow. That's why they call them that. Crocodile tears. Why do they call it crocodile tears? Because when a crocodile is chewing on its prey, that they will have tears to lubricate their eyes, and that's it. And that's a reptile, right? Reptilian. All of the fallen angels that fell in Genesis 6, 4 through 6, the ones that mated with human women and then went into the animals of the land and created demonic entities, and then chimeric demonic entities, meaning half fallen angel, half human, and then half fallen angel, half animal, because they interjected their seed into animals too. That's why there was Noah's Ark. And God said every piece of flesh was corrupted on the earth, except for those 8 people on the boat and the animals that God sent to them. So you have those two things. When people ask where dinosaurs come from, well, a lot of them raptors, man. If you mixed a fallen angel with a chicken, man, you'd probably have a damn raptor. These were all before Noah's Ark, or in that time of Noah's Ark. What I'm saying is they are reptilian. And that's why they would call some people that you see shifting, it's because of the demon inside them. They're reptilian shapeshifters, because all the fallen angels that fell in Genesis 6:4 and mated with humanity and with the animals of the field and stuff, they were able to interject their seed into them. And God had them locked in chains until the time of judgment, which it says in Peter and in Jude, and people give me a hard time about that. It's in text, y'all. The only fallen angels that were locked up were the 200 that did that. They were all serpent-headed angels, seraphim angels, meaning they were very powerful angels. They're the most, amongst the most powerful angels that God created. And they were the ones that protected him, as far as shielded him and basically protected the throne of God. They had 6 wings to cover themselves up, their body, their face, and their legs, from the glory of God, as they were his armed soldiers to protect him. But the ones that fell, all 200, were seraphim angels. You know, there's different types of angels. You have guardian angels, seraphim angels, you have, there's messenger angels, there's all kinds of different angels. And that's what they were. So that's why you're seeing the slit eyes going up and down, and they call them reptilian shapeshifters, or they get scaly or thick like sputum in their mouth when they start to the reptilian starts to come out of them. It's because they are supposed to have emotions of goodness and love and goodness and joy, and they can't do it, so they freeze up, and you start to see the demon come out of them because they don't know how to act. So it starts to, that's where they get the shape shift. But there's a lot of humanity out here that's not really humanity. This is a war. That's why they call it a prison planet. We are in we're stuck in here, and there is a firmament above us. And the narcissist just always overcompensates because they want to be humanity, but they can't be. They will never be us. And when they go from here, there's not going to be any kind of legacy worth a damn. They did nothing good. So make sure you perpetuate goodness. Love you all. Peace. We out.